So forgot to press record, and lucky I haven't started the session, but I was going into a bit of a flow. So Andrew, you are an angel. Thank you so much. Yeah, anyway, I'll just start because I was just going to waffle on about the new course that I'm doing called the Quantum Shift, but I'll share more about that with you at the end, because if you like what I'm sharing with you tonight, that might be something that you're interested in, but we'll see, because it won't be for everyone. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Okay. Oh, it's not there. Oh, bugger. Hang on. Oh, okay. So you've got that right. There we go. Oh, no. Which one is it? The one that I want? I think it's that one. Hang on. Sorry about this. See, I told you I'm not very techy. Yay, it's the right one. Okay. So let's make that big. Woohoo. And then I'll make that small if I can get that out of the way. Right. Marvelous. Grounded foundations. How to feel grounded and safe and move forwards in your life by understanding your root chakra. And that picture there was by the beautiful Ali Ford. So I'm going to start by sharing with you who the winner is of the intuitive healing, actually, before I forget and don't do it at all. And the winner is Joe Graham. Yay! Thank you, Joe, for inviting all the people to the group. So yay, just before I forget. So thank you. I'll get in touch and we'll book that session. So what the fuck is energy? So for a long time, I used to hear people talking about energy and just think like, yeah, okay. And then when Reiki found me about 10 years ago, and I was doing my Reiki attunement, and the teacher was talking about universal energy and how we're all connected. And I was like, she's off her head. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? And then everything changed, as now I'm here talking about root chakras and attuning people to Reiki and all the other woo shizzle that I absolutely love. But it's changed my life, especially understanding the root chakra. So why I'm here. So the law of energy states that everything in the world carries a specific vibrational frequency. So I am energy, you are energy, everything in the world is energy. We all vibrate at different frequencies. Everything does, depending on what mood we're in, what's happened to us in our lives, whether we're a tree or a table or water or anything like that. We're not just solid pieces of matter or meaty flesh. So every person and object, emotion and intention will vibrate at a different frequency, which I'm just going to share with you now. I can't see any comments. If anyone's writing comments, I'm going to keep dipping in and out so I can read through them all. So there's 12 universal laws, and I'll dip in and out of a few of them in here, but this is the emotional frequency scale. So just explaining what energy is in a bit of a sciencey way, because I am a proper geek. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. So like energy attracts like energy. So if you can see here, these are the colors of the chakras. In fact, just let me stop sharing, because I just want to show you, for anyone that's not familiar with the chakras, this is something that I created for the Mexico retreat. So you can see the 7 chakras, all located in different parts of the body. This is the one that I'm talking about here, which is the root chakra, which is red. They've all got different colors. Do you love it? And then it's got orange for the sacral chakra. The solar plexus is yellow. The heart is green. The throat is blue. The third eye is purple, and the crown is white. So, and they go up the body. We get energy coming in down through the crown of our head, going all the way down. And I'm going to explain the chakras a little bit more in a minute, but let me just share my screen again. Here we go. So if you can see, the colors of that emotional frequency chart are relatable to the chakras. So it starts red at the bottom, goes up to orange, it goes up to yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then there's like the lighter purple at the top. And each of our chakras, each of our energy centers holds different emotions, different frequencies, different feelings in that center. So the root chakra, which what we're talking about here, is right down at the bottom. And this is where we hold our shame, our guilt. So all these really heavy energies that vibrate at a very low frequency. So if you think about them as being really dense, you have to excuse me. it's my time of the month, and when that happens, my gob doesn't work. So you'll have to bear with me if I start dribbling, spitting, and can't get my words out right. I'm really sorry. So where's my little doofah there? So down here in the root chakra, the energy and the emotions that we hold are really, really heavy. The frequency is a lot slower. And this means that they're harder to shift and they can feel really heavy. Whereas where we move up to like desire, even anger is a higher frequency than guilt and shame. Because if you think about when you shame yourself or somebody shames you, it feels awful, doesn't it? It is the lowest that we can possibly feel as an energetic frequency. And then we go up, we've got willingness, reason, love, joy, and enlightenment. So we move through all of these emotions every day. So some days someone will piss us off and we'll feel really angry, and then we'll be like, someone will come up and put little arms around our neck and we'll be like, oh, I love you. And then something will happen, be like, oh my God, I should have done that and I didn't, and we'll feel guilty. And so we're up and down all the time. But as long as we're aware of how our emotions are affecting us, and the more that we think or we feel a certain emotion, the more we attract into our lives. So if we are constantly in a state of like shame or guilt or fear, even, which is down here in the root chakra, we will attract more of that into our lives. So one of the humans that I was mentioning before has just come in through the door, so I assume he's going to want to move through. Do you need to go downstairs, Mike? He's going upstairs. Okay. Sound. So love attracts love, pain attracts pain, health attracts health, and neggy ass vibes attract neggy ass vibes. So it's really important that we are intentional about how we feel. And I don't know if anyone here has seen or heard of the Dr. Emoto water experiment. I talk about it all the time and I probably bore the tits off people, but it's something that will always make me just be like, oh my God. So just very, very quickly, Dr. Emoto, he was a Japanese scientist, and he had these 2 glasses of water, and he did an experiment where intentionally he sent love and, I love you, all these positive intentions. I love you. You are beautiful. You make me happy, to this glass of water. Didn't speak it. He just sent it. So with his intention, and then this other glass of water, he was like, I hate you. You're disgusting. I despise you. He froze the water, and when he looked at how the water had formed as ice, the positive intentions were beautifully formed. They were all like, the icicles are frozen. They were just gorgeous. And the neggy ass vibes that he'd sent, or the neggy ass intentions that he'd sent to this other glass, they hadn't formed. They were all like brown and gnarly and just really, they were very ugly. And if you think as humans, we are 80% water. It matters massively what we think, because it affects our bodies on a cellular level. That's just intention. So have you ever been in a room and you can feel someone glaring at you, and you look around and you're like, oh my God, why are they staring at me? And they're sending you neggy ass vibes, and you can feel it because it's like a proper, like a glare, isn't it? Or if someone's looking at you with love and adoration, you feel a bit gooey. So it really does matter. So now we know what energy is and how it affects us. You can become more aware of your energy and learn to notice when negative thoughts come up and flip them on their ass. It is your conscious decision what you think, believe, or how you act. So ask yourself, like, how do you want to feel? Because we've always got a choice. And I know it's not that easy to move through emotions sometimes, because some of them are heavier than others. So when we go back to that chart, if we're feeling a bit neggy, we're down here, and it can be hard to move up into the other parts of the scale. But by choosing to just think of something that makes us feel happy, or being finding gratitude's my go-to massively. It's just changed my life. By choosing how we want to feel, we always have a choice. And if you think about energy or emotions as energy in motion. So emotion moves through the body. Just let me have a little drink, son. So it moves through our body, and depending on what emotion we are feeling, it will be where it can be stored in our body. So each of the chakras store different emotions, different limiting beliefs. They represent different hormones. Again, I'm going to come on to that in a little bit, but if you think of emotion as energy in motion, moving through our body. So if we burst out laughing or we burst out crying, it just comes out, doesn't it? But sometimes if we've been in a traumatic relationship, or we didn't have a very safe upbringing, or whatever the situation is, it's not safe for us to express our emotions. So especially as little humans, like I was born into a very narcissistic environment. My nan was a narcissist, and it wasn't safe for me to show some of the time how I felt. So I sucked a lot of it in, and then I went on to marry one when I got a bit bigger, and then that definitely affected me. I definitely wasn't allowed to show anything. It just wasn't safe. So all of those feelings were stored inside, especially in my throat chakra, because I couldn't say what I wanted to say, and it all gets stored there. But again, I'll explain more about those in a minute. So the more we store these emotions in the body, the more they become a dis-ease. So if you think about something that's not being expressed all the time in the same place, for example, if we can't speak our truth, and it's constantly being, you know, trapped in our throat chakra, we can end up with thyroid, something wrong with our thyroid. We can end up with toothache. We can end up with tonsillitis. It can be that we just don't speak. But a lot of the time, people who've experienced a lot of trauma, especially now, they've been linked to fibromyalgia, or fibromyalgia has been linked to trauma, because, you know, there's a lot of trauma in the body compacted, which is causing a dis-ease. So a lot of us here will probably resonate with being an empath. So just the definition of an empath is someone with the natural ability to understand the emotional state, senses and feels, and reads the energy around them without having to speak to anyone. So this is someone who goes into a room and can read the room without having to say, what's the matter? Because you just go, whoa, what's up with you? You know, or you'll go into a room and it's like, oh my God, there's so much, like they fell out with them. She fancies him. Oh my God, what's going on over there? You know, why are you holding your tears in? And we can just feel it all. But we have to be very, very careful, because as empaths, energy vampires can latch onto us a little bit. And we all know someone who sucks the life out of us. Normally it's someone we're very close to. It's often people in our families. Sometimes it's our close friends, but there's different types of energy vampires as well. So what I mean by energy vampire is someone that normally unintentionally will suck the life out of us. So we'll be talking to them and you can just feel your soul leaving your body, and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. And their energy is just penetrating your body and it doesn't feel good. And they don't know they're doing it, but these people with the neggy ass vibes, they've got massive auras, massive energy fields. So normally, like, have you ever gone to go in a room, and again, I use this example a lot, but you go in and every cell in your body's going, don't open the door. And you're like, what? And it's like, don't open the door. And you can feel it in your body and you're like, oh my God, why am I feeling like this? And you open the door and it's the person that you've wanted to avoid. And you're like, oh my God, why didn't I just listen? Why have I gone in the room? So it's really important that we honor our energy, because as empaths, or as sensitive, sentient beings, we have feely feels. And again, not going too sciencey, but our bodies feel things before our brain knows what's going on. So sometimes we will get a feeling, which is our intuition, which a lot of us don't understand, and sometimes we ignore because we don't want it to be that. And then our brain will go, oh, what's going on there then? We're having a feeling, and it'll try and rationalize it, when actually if we just listen and go, oh, that doesn't feel good. For example, if someone was to invite you somewhere that made you feel really, really excited, you'd be like, oh my God, I want to go. Yes, 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 yes. But if someone says to you, do you want to do this? And you're like, I don't want to go for a run. I wet myself. I don't like running. It doesn't make me happy. That's a no. And that's our bodies, you know, feeling into our energy, but also the invitation of other people's. It goes a lot deeper than that. But different types of energy vampire. The victim, someone that's always like, oh my God, this is happening to me. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, I've got this and this is happening. And you're like, ugh. And you know, they don't mean to do that, but they are in victim mode. They can't get out of it. They can't help but moan. It's the way they get attention. The best thing to do with them is to step away and let them, you know, moan at somebody else if we can. The narcissist, someone who makes everything about themselves. They will go out of their way to stamp on anyone, to put anybody down, to make themselves be the biggest in the room, the most noticed. They have extremely big neggy ass vibes. And again, the best thing to do with them is to run away, get out of their energy as fast as you fucking can. The dominator, someone who talks over you, someone who doesn't let you speak, someone who's very, very opinionated. They're often like sexist or racist or those type of things. And, you know, they're not interested in listening to other people's points of view because they've got their own. Melodramatic. There's always some drama going on, like the drama llamas in our world. You can't have a conversation with them without them being like, oh my God, this has happened, and oh my God, that's happened. And you're like, oh my God, will you stop? Everything's a bloody drama, just sucks the life out of you. It's like EastEnders in a human. I can't watch anything like that. I'm not judging. I am not the judgmental energy vampire. This is someone who just chats shit about everyone. Oh, look at them. Oh, look at them. And you're like, haven't you got anything nice to say? And they will bring you down. And then there's these little people, the innocents, and often they suck the life out of you because they're lost. But the innocents are normally the people that need our help the most because they don't know which way to go and they come to us for guidance. But sometimes what we need to do with the innocents is step away so that we don't become, I'm going to try and say the right word, their crutch. That's it, not their crotch. I always get them mixed up. So they don't become reliant on us to help them all the time. We give them, by creating space with them, we help them to either find someone else or, you know, we can give them the tools to help themselves. So how do you know you're a victim of an energy vampire? Well, normally you'll feel it. You'll feel it in your energy. You'll start getting zapped. You'll start feeling more negative. You might have woke up in the morning with a gorgeous, like, la, 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 beautiful day, sat in the garden with your cup of tea and it's all gorgeous. And then you go to the shop and you see Tracy from around the corner. Sorry if anyone is called Tracy. And you're just like, oh, fucking hell. And she's like, and you're like, I've only come to get dog food and you're sucking the life out of me. So that's normally what you'll feel. Being an empath, though, it's really, really important that you understand when this is happening, because if this is something that happens in your life on a regular basis, it can make you very poorly. It can actually make you ill. So you've got to put boundaries in place with these people, and that's a whole different chakra is boundaries. So for anyone that's interested in doing the course, we'll be covering all of that with the sacral. So that's normally how you know you're a victim of an energy vampire. And how you spot one is they've normally got someone pinned in the corner of the room and they're like, me. And the person's like wide-eyed, like sliding down the wall, looking for help, looking past the person. Like, is anyone there? Can anyone help me? So that's, you can normally spot them because they've got someone, or they're talking over everyone. Yeah, or the person they're talking to is trying to make eye contact with you. Okay, the other types of energy vampires are, it's not, you know, it's not just people, it's what we put into our bodies, it's what we surround ourselves with. So the internet. How many times have you woke up in a gorgeous little nom mood and picked your phone up, and within 10 minutes you feel like you're shit and you're not worth anything and you're not good enough, and you've triggered yourself left, right and center because everyone's doing everything and you should be, and you're shit. And yeah, so it's got a lot to answer for. We really do need to watch our the time that we spend or what we look at. And again, I'm very, very grateful for it because you're all here because of it. But we've just got to notice our triggers and understand, like, okay, well, why have I felt like that when I've seen that? It's, you know, sometimes people only show us the things that they want us to see. They don't show us the whole truth of everything. So a lot of people's things that we see is not actually their lives. TV, again, the news depresses the shit out of me. I'm sorry for anyone that loves the news. We don't have the television on in our house unless Netflix is on, because I just can't cope with everything. There's never anything good. It's always just neggy ass vibes coming on the screen. So since, I think it's pretty much since the beginning of COVID, we've just not had the TV on really, other than to the footy and Netflix. Again, the radio. Sometimes there's everything that's going on. You know, if you're getting the half an hour news and the hourly news and you're on a long journey, you've got to watch what's going in your ears. Crowded places. This affects me quite a lot. For anyone that's going to manifest at the weekend, you might find me on a piece of grass, on a little patch of grass, laid down, trying to grab myself, because I do get affected by being around a lot of people. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Needy animals. I've got a little clicky dog that follows me around the house and I love him to death, but sometimes I'm like, I think he thinks his name is go to bed, in your bed, in your bed, lay down. So how do we cope with energy vampires? I'm just going to put this light on because it's going to be dark. So grounding is one of my favorite ways. It's something that I have to do quite a few times a day because I am massively affected by everything energetic. People, things that I hear, things that I read, just the frequency of the earth, or anyone that knows about the Schumann resonance or the solar flares or Mercury retrograde and all that chisel that's going on at the moment. I'm affected by it all. So I have to constantly notice when I'm feeling like that and just take myself off, ground myself. And there's different ways of grounding, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. Energy clearing, so again, using sage, using sound healing, putting music on and having a little bit of a jiggy dance around to that. Anything that creates like a frequency will help us to shift our energy clearing. But you can just go around, you can dry brush your energy. So if you've been with someone who's a bit neggy, you can go around and do what's called a dry brush, where you literally brush everything off your body and then put your hands on the floor, and all that energy, because our hands are electromagnetic, and so is the energy, we can just intend for that to go into the ground and just get shut of it. Centering is something whereby you might feel like you've given bits of yourself to everybody throughout the day. So centering is something that you can do at the end of the day, whereby you just sit and visualize calling yourself, calling all the bits of you back in. So you breathe in and you just visualize yourself becoming whole. So I think of it as like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So I'll sit for a minute and I'll feel how I'm feeling, and I'm going to do a little body scan with you in a minute. But like, what am I noticing in my body? Where am I feeling it? How does it feel? And then I'll breathe in and just visualize like pieces of myself that I feel like I've given away or that I'm missing, until I'm whole again, or until I'm like a beautiful colored jigsaw. I know that sounds a bit bonkers, but it's all about bringing ourselves back. Or you can simply place your hands on your heart and just bring your awareness into your heart center. Just becoming present is massively, massively grounding and shielding. So for anyone that's done any Reiki training with me, I talk about doing the 7 circles of protection, which is where you just put a circle around each of your energy centers. Anyone can do it. Intending, again, it's all about the intention. It's so powerful that our energy centers are protected, and that you know, nothing can come in. Or you can just visualize a big bubble of light going around you. I got taught years ago, I think it's an NLP technique, whereby I push the palm of my hand and that's when my bubble pops up, and then I breathe in, and as I breathe out, I visualize my heart opening and I fill the bubble full of my own energy. So there's so many different ways, and I'll talk a lot more about these throughout the course because there's so many. But just for now, if you can, I just want you to notice. I'm going to do a little body scan with you. It takes about 2 minutes. I just want you to keep if you can, draw a picture of a person, even if it's just a little stick person. I'm going to talk you through the body scan, and I just want you to mark when we've finished where you felt anything in your body. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute. So you can turn your screen off for this if you want to. I'm just going to ask you to close down your eyes for a sec. Okay, so I just want you to take a nice big slow breath in through the nose. And as you're breathing out, I just want you to sigh everything out. Just relaxing into your body. Okay, take another big, slow breath in. And this time, as you exhale, just relaxing again, softening your belly, relaxing your shoulders, feeling your feet on the ground. If you're sitting on a chair, if you're sitting on with your legs up, just bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. And then take another slow, big breath in through the nose. Just feel the coolness of the air as it enters the body. And as you breathe out, just bring your awareness to the crown of your head. And just want you to notice any sensations, anything that you're feeling at the crown of your head. Could be a little bit of a tightness. It could just be an awareness. Bring an awareness down into your brow. Relaxing your brow. Just noticing if you were frowning. Just noticing what's going on in your brow. Relaxing your temples. Relaxing your cheeks and your jaw. And then bring an awareness into your throat. And just notice how it feels to swallow. Is there any tightness in your throat? Is it a little bit scratchy? Or does it feel really open and easy to breathe? I want you to take a big, slow breath in now. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders and bring your awareness into your heart space. I just want you to notice if there was any tension in your shoulders, if there's any tension across your chest, like how does it feel to breathe? Just noticing the front and the back of the heart. And then another big, slow breath in. Feel the belly rise and just hold it for a sec. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness to just below the heart space in your solar plexus. And just notice how the energy feels in that part of your body. Does it feel soft and relaxed? Does it feel a little bit anxious? A little bit tense? Breathing in again, slow and steady. When you're ready, feel the belly rise again. And this time as you exhale, bring your awareness into your belly, into your sacral chakra, into your womb space, your portal of life. And just notice if there's any feelings going on in the belly. You can even put your hands on your belly if you want and just send yourself a little bit of love. Something we don't normally do to our bellies. And then a big slow breath in. And as you breathe out, just bring your awareness to the base of the spine, into the lower back and into the hips. This is the root chakra. This is where we hold all our fear, all our worry. And just notice if there's any tension in the lower back, anything going on in the hips. Just notice how it feels. And then take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, I just want you to bring awareness to your feet. As you ground down gently now, just bringing awareness back into your body, just wriggling your toes, wriggling your fingers. Maybe taking a nice little stretch, bringing your arms all the way up above the head. Having a nice little yawn and a stretch. And then on your little stick person or whatever you've drawn, I just want you to notice or note down where you felt any sensations and what you felt in your body. Okay, and just keep that for now. Oh, we nearly pressed stop recording, then I don't want to do that. What am I doing now? So I took you through then a very quick body scan of the chakras. So depending on where you were feeling any sort of energy or tension or warmth or tingliness or anything like that in those areas will be an indication that one of your chakras is maybe not aligned. I'm gonna share with you all about the chakras now. Okay, so what is a chakra? So what I talk about is the 7 main chakras. Apparently there's thousands, and they've been talked about for centuries through all different practices like yoga, Buddhism, you know, Ayurvedic. There's all different things that have been going on for like centuries that have always referenced these energy centers. But the chakras, the 7 chakras that I talk about, is the main energy centers in the body. So each of the chakras represents different emotions, different hormones. They vibrate at a different frequency. They represent different colors. We hold different emotions in there. We hold different limiting beliefs in there. For example, the root chakra that I'm going to talk specifically about today is all about, it's the first chakra that develops between the ages of 0 and 7. It develops in the womb, and it's all about safety and security. So depending on what's happened to us in our lives between the ages of 0 and 7 massively impacts the development and what is stored in our root chakra. And this is why it's always really important to balance the root chakra first, because from the ground up, if we don't have roots and we're not balanced, all the other chakras, even if we are trying to balance them, they don't have that strong foundation. The root chakra is the most fundamental and foundational chakra in our energy system. It basically, it's like what's it called? The foundations of a house. You know, if you didn't have them, your house would fall down. It's a little bit like that. And if you look at the picture, there's the 7 chakras going up and down the body. If you imagine, like in my book, I described it as a hose. So our energy is the water. And when we turn the hose on, if our energy centers are aligned, the water just goes up and down. And it's really, you know, the current is strong and we can squirt it all over the flowers and there's no problem. But if something happens to us in our lives, say someone says something that really hurts our heart or our throat chakra, and we can't reply because we've got like people pleasing tendencies and we just can't speak our truth, you know, we'll hold that in our bodies and it becomes a block. So imagine a slug crawling in a hose, like a big fat slug. The water wouldn't come out properly because there's slugs in there till it gets blasted out the other end. It's, you know, the water just trickles past it. That's exactly what the chakras are like in our bodies. If there's any sort of disturbance, if there's any trauma that we're holding, if anything is off balance, we are not functioning at 100%. We're off kilter. So if you think about everything that's ever happened to you in your life, if you've never done any energy healing ever, it's going to massively affect how you function, because you'll be holding on to trapped trauma, trapped emotions, limiting beliefs. It's just what happens to us. There's conditioning and all sorts of other shizzle in there. So this is the root chakra. So Muladhara is the Sanskrit name for it, and it means root support. It's located at the base of the spine. It's actually located in between your bum and you at the front. So in your, is it perineum? I can never get that word right. It's right at the very, very base there. And that's why it's the root. And when we sit, you know, we connect to the earth. It's the color red, which relates to self-awareness. And the root chakra symbol is this 4-petaled lotus. And the element is the earth, which makes sense because it's the root chakra. Each of the chakras have got different elements, and they all have different meanings, and they're all really, really beautiful. But we're just talking about the root chakra today. So it's the element of earth. So how do we know when our root chakra is off balance? So when we are balanced, we feel grounded, we feel relaxed, we feel secure and safe and stable and calm and anchored. We feel really present. So we feel confident and like sure of ourselves to explore and try new things. So we're not in fear. You know, we've got financial freedom. So we're not worried about money. We're like, we've got enough, everything's great. We feel safe. Help improve self-preservation. I updated these the other day, but they haven't updated. Sorry, I did better ones than these. These are my old ones, but they haven't come through. So the root chakra, when it's like not worrying about a job, you know, not worrying about having money, anything that we need, it's all about survival basically. So help improve self-preservation and provide basic needs for you and your family. Have we got everything that we need? When we feel safe in that, when we know we've got a roof over our heads and we don't need to worry about money and there's food in the cupboards, you know, we feel safe. But what happens with the root chakra is we get triggered by a lot of things and we start looking outside of ourselves. We start wanting more materialistic things and we tell ourselves that we need these things to be enough, and this sends us off balance, or we start worrying about things, or sometimes there are very, very real things happening, you know, especially everyone's worrying now about all the energy bills going up and the Queen's died and we've got a new prime minister and everyone's like, oh my God, what's happening? But actually, when you look around, you know, we've all got houses, we've all got food in our cupboards. We're very lucky. We've, you know, and by just practicing that little bit of gratitude can bring us back into the present moment and help us to stay grounded. So the balanced root chakra is all about having the energy and vitality to do the things that you need to do every day in life, to keep us safe, to keep us secure. So moving through life with energy without feeling like sluggish or like we haven't got the motivation to do anything. And you don't have any health issues in the lower part of your body. So the root chakra is related to any, it's things like constipation, sciatica, lower back problems, anything to do with like that bottom part of your body is an indication that the root chakra is off balance. So we'll know because we'll feel anxious, we'll feel unsafe, we feel unsettled. We might never feel like we're at home. So for anyone here that never feels like they've settled and they've always feel like they've got to move house, or they're always redecorating, or they're always changing things, that can be a sign that your root chakra is off balance because you're not feeling settled. You struggle to stand up for yourself. And again, this goes into pure fear mode and people pleasing because we just want everyone to like us. So we don't speak our truth. We just let people sort of walk all over us. We lack confidence. We're so scared because we just want to feel safe. And normally we look to people to make us feel safe. So sometimes we won't speak our truth because we don't want to rock the boat. Feeling burdened or vulnerable. So when the root chakra is blocked, the weight of the world is on us. We can't shake it off. We don't, again, this vulnerability, like we don't feel safe. We feel like everyone's on us for everything and we just can't shake it off. And we worry about everything. So sometimes when you've been in a state of, and again, I'm not judging anybody here, but for people who are in victim mode or people who do worry a lot, sometimes when you don't have anything to worry about, that can feel quite scary as well. Excuse me. So as you come more into alignment, sometimes that the feeling of like, oh my God, everything's okay, shit. Like that's a new thing for some people when we start balancing the root chakra, and they have to hold themselves through that feeling of safety because they've never felt safe. So when they do feel safe, it dysregulates their nervous system because it's not a normal feeling. So it takes time for them to like reprogram their body and their mind that feeling safe is actually okay. But again, I go into this in a lot more detail on the course. So how understanding the chakras will change your life and business. So let me just move this down here. When you become aware of the chakras, you can then understand the signs that your body is trying to give you. Oh, sorry. Just trying to move that to the top of the screen. That your body's trying to give you to tell you that it's out of alignment. So imagine listening to your body every day and understanding how it felt and understanding what the different parts of your body meant and going, oh my God, I've got a bit of a sore throat today. Like, what am I not saying? And then being like, right, okay, I'm just going to journal on that. I'm just going to write down what I feel like I'm not saying. And that is a shift in itself. You know, during the course, I'm going to teach people how to meditate properly because meditation is massive, especially when you're going on an inwards journey. But the more we can understand our energy, how we feel, who's making us feel that way, what our energy centers mean, where they are, what emotions are there, you know, what everything is linked to, the more we can understand other people as well. So if someone's behaving in a certain way and you're like, what are you worried about? Or where are you feeling it in your body? Oh, I've got to hear, like, Daisy's got a bit of a shit teacher at the minute in school. And this morning she was like, oh, I've got a tummy ache. And I was like, where is it? And she was like, here. And it was in her solar plexus because this teacher's really shouty and it's making her feel like she can't put her hand up in class. So it's her solar plexus, which is her power center She doesn't feel confident. She doesn't feel like, she's got no self-belief, no self-worth, no self-confidence, because we've sorted it. Don't worry. All the mums were on it. It's a substitute teacher. So he's been told, but that's why she had a tummy ache this morning. But I knew that, because that's where our anxiety is stored. But there's all different signs for different things that's going on in our bodies. So again, sciatica will show you that your root chakra is off, and depending on which side of the body the sciatica is on, it'll be an indication of whether it's a financial worry or fear, or an emotional worry or fear. So the body's amazing, honest. This stuff has just like changed my whole life. So we engage our energy you engage your energy in your personal life and your professional life every single day. So we deal with so many different things, don't we? So people who are emotionally draining, we have to make decisions, personal and business, for anyone that's got their own business. If you're like me, we have to deal with techie shit. Finances, I think the S is supposed to be on the end there. Our finances, money worries, again. And for anyone that's got a business, sometimes that can be quite hard. If you have to deal with customers, sometimes massive knobs, not customers, massive knobs. Sometimes customers are massive knobs. That was supposed to say. The ARE has been missed off, so that's what that means there. Sometimes we work with our family or our partners, and again, just having to deal with them on a daily basis can be enough, but when they're in our business as well, that can be even more emotionally draining. And the chakra energy works on all levels, so mind, body and soul. So it affects us mentally, affects us physically, and affects us on a soul level, like how connected we feel. And then it moves out into the material world. So this means that any imbalances in your chakras can show up in your professional life and business, as well as in your personal life, in the form of challenges, problems and obstacles. So again, just talking about the root chakra, in your business, if your root chakra is off balance, it will show up in things like issues with money. What are you worried about? Is it money coming in? Is there a little money leak in your business somewhere? What's going on? Low or unstable profitability. So again, the root chakra represents the safety, the security. If you've got any structure and strategy and stability, again, no systems or strategy. If you don't have the foundations in your business, it doesn't have roots and it can't grow. So you might be doing all this creative shizzle that feels amazing, but if you don't have all that, they can feel boring. It's like the masculine energy in the business, isn't it? So it's things like, have you got your account sorted out? Have you got your strategy? What's your business plan for the next 12 months? What are your plans? Are you flying by the seat of your pants? Do you not have a fucking clue what's going on next, but you're just winging it? That will make you feel unsafe and unsettled. And until you've got a plan, and a lot of us creatives resist it. I did for so long. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'll just go with the flow. And I thought that's how I wanted to be. In the last 12 months to 18 months, I've really put strong foundations in business, and it's just gone from strength to strength because I've got clarity, and with clarity comes confidence. And this is why it's so important to look at sustainability and strategy and the foundations in our business. So low or no sustainability. So things go into shit because they're not built on strong foundations with proper structures in place. Okay, let me just stop and see if there's 15 chats, right? So let's see. I called them, I'm just going to read through the comments very quickly. I called them dementors. I didn't realize that this was happening to me, did I? To the Reiki course, yes. If trouble with the feet is unbalanced, yes. So anything in the lower part of the body, that's all the root chakra. Okay, so there wasn't very many. That's good. Right, let's go back to sharing the screen. So grounding yourself, my favorite ways to ground. So feet on the grass, anywhere, absolutely anywhere. If you don't have grass, you can use concrete. You just can't use wood or plastic. Visualization. Again, if you can't get outside and put your feet on the grass, you can visualize roots coming out the soles of your feet, going down into the earth. connecting to the core of Mother Earth. There's so many gorgeous grounding meditations that you can get off YouTube. Or I've got a little meditation bundle that I've just released. Visualization's massive, but it brings us back. It can bring us back into our bodies. Essential oils. These have very, very recently come into my life, and they've changed everything dramatically. Just how I feel, how I manage my stress. I'm not having to take paracetamol, or, you know, if I get a headache, and I can manage my anxiety a lot better. So every morning I have a drop of frankincense on the roof of my mouth. This morning I was really, really anxious, and I didn't know why. I found out this afternoon because I didn't know I was due on. Thank you, perimenopause. But I had some lavender oil behind my ears, and that really, really helped to ground me. Lavender oil is also amazing for your throat chakra. It helps us to relax, so we feel like we can speak, we're not so worried. And the 6 breath cycle, which is amazing, and it could be done absolutely anywhere. And I'll just do it really, really quickly with you now, if I can find my stop share button. So just want you to notice how you're feeling in your body right now. So I'll try not to put you to sleep, because it does literally just take 1 minute to do. You can do this anywhere. If the kids are getting on your tits, if you're in the Asda and there's a big queue and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed. If you're in the playground, no one needs to know that you're doing this, but you can do it absolutely anywhere. So we just breathe in slowly through our nose for the count of 4, and you can use your fingers to help you keep count if you want to. You might not want to do that if you're in Asda. People be like, why is she dancing in the queue? So you can, you know, if you're at home and you're doing it. So just breathing in through your nose for the count of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out through the mouth for the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in through the nose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out, and then in through the nose, and out through the mouth, and then we've got 3 more to go. In through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Okay, we've just got 2 more to do. So in through the nose, nice and slow, and then out through the mouth, and then last one, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, you don't need to do it out your mouth in a big blowy puff if you're in the queue in the Asda, but just that breathing. You've taken your body now from fight or flight into relaxation response. Lisa's just put, I did the 6 breath cycle in the cupboard in work yesterday as I was so stressed. You can do it anywhere. And it really does just bring you back into the present. So when you're all in your head, when we go up here, we can't think properly because we're in fight or flight. We're dysregulated. The thinking part of our brain shuts down and we start looking for fear and what, you know, where's the attack going to come from? But when we can relax and ground ourselves, it makes a massive difference. So the 6 breath cycle is something that helped me massively and still does. And I do it without knowing that I'm doing it now. Okay, just let me run and grab my little book and then I'll share with you all about the freedom sequence. Okay, so the freedom sequence is my own healing modality that I created at the beginning of the year. Excuse me, a big chug there. It's from all of the different things that I've trained in over the last 10 years. So it's based on working with subconscious energy. So we use things that I've picked up from Reiki, from shamanic healing, from quantum holographic echo healing, angelic work, meditation, just all like working with the chakras, anything like that. And the freedom sequence works specifically with each of the chakras. It's on a 2-day, I do it intensively over 2 days because it's for people who know they've got niggles and they've got loads of shit and they just want to really, really clear it. And don't want to spend too much time on it, but they don't know what's going on, but they know it's something. So we look at each of the chakras intensively, what emotions are in there blocking you, what limiting beliefs are in there, what's happened on a timeline. So has there been any trauma? How are we going to heal that? We're calling the energy from the guardian angels. The guardian angels. What are they called? The archangels. Been talking for a while now. And then we look to shift it with a guided meditation. But when we work through each of these chakras like this, clearing from the root up, if you imagine whatever we let go of, we create space. So any negative energy that we're letting go of, we then fill with, like, I suppose, love and light, but there's all different things that we talk about throughout the sessions. What I'm just going to do very, very quickly with you here is look at what emotions are being held in the root chakra. And there's specific emotions for each of the chakras. But I'm just going to focus on the root chakra. So just to read through, there's different ones. So fear, powerless, anxiety, unsafe, insecure, victim, abandonment, defensive, unstable, rejection. All these things play out in this energetic field. I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute so that I can see everyone. So how it works, we're connected anyway through the quantum field. So the quantum field is the massive blur of energy. So your energy, I'm energy, the table's energy, everything in between us is energy. And because of that, I'm connected to you, even though we're not together, because everything is energy and we're all connected. So I ask for your permission to enter your energy field. And then I use your subconscious energy to pick which of the emotions is linked to your root chakra, and we clear it. So how this works is whatever the emotion is that I pick, we want to look at our subconscious energy, which is the first noise we normally hear in our mind. So sometimes what will happen is I'll say, I don't know, someone will say something to you and you'll think a thought, and that's your subconscious going, which is normally our truth. It's normally our feelings. It's normally what's going on inside. But if we don't, if that doesn't resonate, or we think, oh my God, it can't be that, our conscious mind will go, oh no, it must be this. And our thinking brain steps in. Our thinking brain, the thinking part, like our logic, it can't be that. So for example, when I was having it done on me, when I was training the girls, something that came up for me was, and it was a limiting belief actually, which we're not looking at right now, but it was they hate. And it was when it took me back to being bullied in primary school when I was 7. And I shifted it by going back to little me and just giving her a bit of a cuddle and telling her that it's all right. And, you know, the bullies go, and, you know, everything's going to be fine in your life, and you work through it. But there's so many different things, but we can do it collectively because we're all here together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look to shift one emotion that's collectively held in our root chakra. So if I can just have a little thumbs up from everyone, just to give me permission to enter your energy field. Thank you very much. Just let me know everyone's okay with this. And just to let you know, if anything does come up, I am here for support. Okay. So if anything, oh my God, hang on. Sorry, just bear with me because my husband's ringing my daughter's phone. Daisy! Sorry, I'm back. Just let me mute for 1 second while. Sorry, someone was sitting on the stairs and the phone's going off. It'll be my husband on his way back from golf, which would be great for the meditation at the end. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. So I'm just going to connect to my pendulum. Okay, and then I'm just going to, is everyone familiar with pendulums? I'm not sure if you know how they work. It looks like I'm just spinning it round, but for anyone that used one before will know that the energy picks up makes the pendulum move. So I'll say, show me yes, and then show me no. And it spins in different directions. So what I do is I move my finger over the emotions that I'm looking at, and the pendulum shows me a yes when it's the right one. But other than that, it will just spin. So we are in the root chakra. So it's spinning. Are we here? Are we here? Okay. So I'm going to say an emotion now, and the first thing that comes up to you, I just want you to maybe write that down or just have a little feel into what that is. And then I'm just going to use the pendulum to allow that to shift this negative energy or anything that's attached to this emotion for you. Okay. If anyone needs any help with anything, or it's a little bit triggering, just please let me know. So overwhelm. So I've definitely felt this in the last week, the last 2 weeks. I think it's something that we can probably all relate to a little bit, but it's the first thing that comes up. If anyone wants to share, you can unmute, or you can pop it in the comments, or you can just allow that feeling of overwhelm just to be shifted as you breathe. Big, slow, deep breath. So as you're watching the pendulum spinning, shifting that energy collectively, just release the breath. So big, slow, deep breaths. And the pendulum will tell me when it's stopped. And because I think there's still quite a few of us here. There's 18 of us here. It might take a little minute, but I'm just guided by the energy from the pendulum. Okay, so can you see it slowing down? Ella's case being sorted, right? Yes, massively. So mine will manifest at the weekend. Got a bit of overwhelm from that. So I've just had Mexico, got will manifest, and then I've got a retreat a week later. So I'm like, ah! So thank you for sharing that. So, okay, overwhelm. Okay, so I've got a little hands up from Jan. Oh God, I can hear a child coming down the stairs. I'm really sorry about this. Okay. Are we clear? Is the energy clear? Yes. Okay, so that's cleared. So during the quantum shift, the course, we would be doing a whole session around the freedom sequence. So we'd be looking at what emotions, what limiting beliefs, we'd be looking at a timeline, we'd be looking through, all of the things, and we'd be really looking to shift any blocks that are in there and working together in sort of a, I suppose, intimate group, because this course isn't going to be for everyone. It's just going to be for the people that really want to work through and understand the chakras at a much deeper level and have, shift all the shit, basically. But if you are a healer, or if you are into, very interested in the chakras and want to bring it into your lives and the lives of your family, or even into your business, this will massively help. Okay, so just let me share my screen again. Is everybody feeling okay? Actually, can I just ask, is everyone all right? Nothing scary came up. It wasn't quite like, some of the emotions that come up can be quite triggering. Yeah, thank you. So collectively, we've just fucked off overwhelm. Yay! Woohoo. Right. Okay. So I was going to do this now, but what I'm going to share with you first is the human design. So what is human design, and what does the root center mean in human design? So can you see that little chart there? It's not very clear, but that's what a human design chart looks like. That's actually my human design chart. And I absolutely love it. I've only been learning about it for about 6 months. But I've just shared my very first charts with the ladies on the Mexico retreat, and it was mind-blowing. And for everything that I love, like human design is just the next level. Where's my page gone? There it is. Come on, Nick. Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, I've lost a piece of paper. It is here. There it is. No, it's not. There it is. Yay. So, does anyone need a wine? We can have a break if you need to. We're nearly done. So, human design. So, if you think about, I'll just read it because it's easier to explain. So much like astrological birth charts, human design is a system based on your exact time, date, and place of birth. However, this information doesn't just map where the planets were in the sky when you were born, like a birth chart. Human design also identifies your dominant chakras to create your personal body graph. So see that graph there? Each of those it's called a center on the human design chart, and most of them are chakras. So imagine understanding the chakras and then understanding what the chakras mean in your human design chart. It's just like next level. So human design is an amalgamation of both ancient systems and modern science. It combines astrology and astronomy, the I Ching and biochemistry, the Kabbalah, quantum mechanics, the chakra systems, and genetics. Oh, a proper pea glitter when I read that. Human design is not a religion, having no rituals nor taking any stance on God, but it's fucking amazing, and I'm defo making it part of my religion. So imagine a system that explains how you were built and how to best respond to the world, like a combination between astrology and Myers-Briggs. So it's called human design, and its creation story is one for the ages. So in short, this guy called Alan Krakauer, he's now called Ru. He was a former advertising executive and a magazine publisher, and he went to Greece and he was in the sea. I think he was off his head because he had this visitation. He was in the 80s with a voice who dictated a mechanical system that's literally a 400-page textbook on how we all work. So he must have opened some dimension in his brain while he was dancing in the sea in the 80s for this chart to come through, because it's absolutely unbelievable. There's so many bits to it. I'm only like scratching the surface, but what I love, I'm sharing, or what I'm finding out, I'm sharing. So it's defined by our time and place of birth. And while it sounds nuts, when you actually look at your own chart, you'd be surprised by how much it sounds like you. What? Oh, sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, it's just there. Hi. You have to go upstairs. Thank you. I'll be about half an hour. Take the dog, please. Oh. The joys of doing it at the kitchen table. The big child, we think, has had some sort of mange disease, and he lives in the basement. It's a nice room. It's got a bed. It's not like we've locked him in there. So the room's full of mange. So I was like, I'm not doing my session from in there because I'll end up with, boy mange. But anyway, how amazing does that sound? And all these different centers all mean different things. So the root center, which is that little square, little brown square right at the very bottom. So the centers, your type is determined by the combination of your defined or undefined centers. So can you see the ones colored in? They're all defined centers, and the two at the top that are white, they're undefined. We're all different. We've all got different defined and undefined centers. These lines are all our gates. Some are attached, some aren't, some we don't have, some of them we do have, others. So each center represents a specific energy hub, and there's currently 9 centers, and they all mean different things. So a defined center is where we have energy coming from, and an undefined center is where we're open to receiving energy. So I've got an open mind, an open crown, an open mind, and an open heart. See that little diddly white triangle there? Below the yellow thing, that's a heart. An open heart is quite rare. But again, it can mean that you're an even bigger empath. And so does this defined spleen. But anyway, there's so much to it. But I just want to share with you what the root means. So the root is you could call it the launch pad for all the activity in our lives, because it houses our adrenaline and processes all of our stress. The root exists in a condition of joy and stillness, providing a feeling of being rooted and grounded. So it's like a really safe feeling. In today's world, there's so much expectation on our shoulders, with the pressure to be effective, productive, and make shit tons of money while being totes amazeballs, succeeding with home, work, kids, life, and balance. And it's just unrealistic. And yet we strive to achieve this because we want to be seen as doing well. But the root gives us the push that we need to get on with things and to cope. So there's 9 characteristics of this root center, and they are ambition, stillness, joyfulness, restlessness, contentiousness, limitation, neediness, provocation, and imagination. And then anatomically, the root relates to adrenal glands, providing us with the stimulation that can turn some of us into adrenaline junkies. It's all about me. Or we can also become stressaholics and feel permanently working ourselves to maximum capacity, also me. So I've got a defined root depending on your chart, which we will work through on the course. Your root is defined or undefined. So the difference in those, so a defined root, it means you've got what it takes to create and withstand unbelievable pressures that cause you to just get shit done. All deadlines, whether they come from an external source or are self-imposed, are triggered in the root, and you have to decide if this goal or time frame is essential or even doable without you losing balance in life. So the root pushes us. When the root's lit, it's like we've got an intense drive, almost like we need to be doing something all the time. So you're literally sitting on what could be described as a mountain of energy that could easily erupt at any given moment, hence the squirrels, I think. Such immense pressure can easily blast you and any person or project around you deep into outer space. Your natural state is living in calmly in the eye of your own storm. You have found stillness amidst the chaos and madness that surround you. And when you can calmly smile to yourself in the middle of a pandemonium, you found your balance. And I think I'm a manifestor generator as well, which there's 5 different types, which again, we'll go through on the course. But manifestor generators need to have lots of things to do all at the same time. We need to spin lots of plates. So being in the eye of our own storm, it's like, oh, look at all this that's going off around me. Isn't it wonderful? Whereas someone else, like a projector, would be like, oh my fucking God, what's going on? Why is there so much going on? This is stressing the shit out of me. So it just depends on who you are, what your centers are. And if you've got an undefined root, just briefly, it means which means when you are alone, you go through life at your own natural pace. You feel relaxed and completely unbothered. The problems begin for you when you unintentionally get sucked into the vortex of the big world outside. So if you think about having a center that's not defined, so it absorbs energy, you will be affected by everybody else's energy in that center. So that's why I get lots of ideas from other people, and I'm inspired by things that other people are doing. It could be that something that has happened in the past or in the present relating to someone with a defined root is feeding your system full of stresses that aren't even yours. So again, sometimes you might be picking up on other people's energies. You're capable of achieving all sorts of goals within your lifetime, but these have to be done on your own terms. Other people's needs and pressures can easily send you off balance and feeling like your head has disappeared up your arse if you let them. And often when you're feeling stressed, this is a sign that you've committed to something that isn't aligned with your own values or beliefs. So it's all about noticing how you feel and what is right for you. You don't have a constant access to adrenaline like the people with defined centers, so can easily feel pressured or stressed out when challenged to proving yourself by other people. So it could be that you feel like you've got to push when actually you just want to tell them to fuck off. It could be that you're known as the person who puts things off and procrastinates the most, but the fact is you actually need to achieve things on your own timeline and often have to wait for this pressure to build with you. You may find that you start millions of things but hardly finish any of them. And there's so much more. There's so much more for each of the centers, but I just wanted to touch very quickly on like the difference between the root center. So if it's defined, you've got loads of energy. If it's not defined, you haven't, and that's okay. But understanding that and understanding what the root chakra represents massively changes everything. So again, in the course, the quantum shift, we're going to be looking through this. Oh, not yet. So I've got a little guided meditation that I wrote for you today that I want to do. And then I'm going to share with you the course if you can stay awake that long. I knew it was going to be a long one. But this is an activation to hopefully help you clear a little bit of shit out of your root chakra, but also to engage and realize just how absolutely amazing you are. So again, I'm just going to stop sharing and have a little drink. Okay. Excuse me. I love fizz sticks, but they really just like fizz back up as soon as you've drunk them. Okay, so this is going to take about 10 minutes, I think. And then I just want you to spend a little minute or two just writing down anything that's come up. My right ear has been hurting since we did the body scan. Oh, okay. So so your right side is your masculine energy and it's your ear, which normally that can be connected to your throat chakra. So it could be there's something that you want to say to a man, or it could be a man has said something to upset you. Someone said something in your ear and that's making it hurt on the masculine side. So just have a feel intuitively into what's coming up for you. But your ear is normally like ear, nose and throat is normally the throat chakra. So just have a little, you know what to do. Get your Reiki on it. Your magic. Okay. So sitting somewhere really nice and comfy. In fact, I'm just going to take off my shoes so I can cross my legs on my little chair. Oh, that's better. Okay. So I just want you to take a nice big slow breath in through the nose and sigh everything out through the mouth. Okay, and take another slow, big breath in. Just take your time. And as you exhale, relaxing into your body, just grounding down, just noticing the surface of where you're sitting, or if you've laid down, notice how that feels. Take another big, slow breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, this time bring your awareness to the crown of the head. Just relaxing the brow and the temples, softening through the cheeks and the jaw. Taking another big, slow breath in. Feel the chest rise and just hold it for a sec. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders. Relax all the muscles in the back of the neck. Soften your arms. Relaxing your elbows and your forearms and your wrists. Softening through the palms of the hands and all the way down to the ends of the fingers. Take another big, deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, relax the belly, relax the hips, softening the backs of the thighs, relaxing the lower back. Bringing awareness to the front and backs of the knees, the calves and the shins, the ankles, the soles of the feet, and all the way down to the ends of the toes. Take another big, deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, just allow every muscle in the body to soften and relax. Just breathe in as you relax. And relaxing as you breathe. I want you to imagine yourself now standing outside a room that's got a big wooden white door. The handle is a huge crystal, and as you turn it, the door opens really easily. I want you to see yourself walking into the room. The room is light and the decor is exactly your taste. So just take a moment to look around and notice what the room looks like. It looks like it's been made just for you. The windows open slightly and a cool, gentle breeze is blowing the curtains. You look to your right and on the wall is a full-length mirror. The frame is absolutely beautiful and it's got lots of intricate details on. I just want you to take a moment to look at the frame and notice what's there. Now I want you to look in the mirror, and before you, you see a version of yourself. This is a version of you if there was no fear, no doubt, no worry. Who would you be? This could be you now or a future version of yourself. I just want you to notice what she looks like. I want you to notice what she's wearing. What does her skin look like? And as you stand looking at this version of yourself, she smiles at you and she says, I am you and you are me. I need you to decide to rise in this moment and choose the life that you desire. To lean into fear and know that you are strong. You are strong enough to do anything. She makes you feel safe and she makes you feel loved. If you like, you can ask her some questions. It could be, what do I need to do to get to where you are now? How do I step more fully into who I really am? Just take a moment to notice what questions come up for you and what she replies. I want you to just think if there's any last questions that you want to ask her. And then just take a moment to look at this reflection and just thank her for her guidance. And as you look in the mirror now, she slowly fades away and you see yourself now. And just notice how you feel. I want you to commit to taking this forwards with you. The essence of this woman who stood before you. Knowing that you are loved and supported and that everything that you see and feel right now has been gifted to you as part of your journey. I just want you to repeat this now in your mind's eye, as if you're saying it to yourself. To feel safe in my life moving forwards, I honor and acknowledge that fear is a valid and important emotion, just as powerful as the feeling of joy and love. I choose to surrender to this feeling in the knowing that I have complete control over my thoughts and emotions. I choose to see fear as a sign that there is something in my life that needs attention, but that I am always in control. I have the power within me and the tools to move through these experiences because I know that these experiences will pass. I honor the fact that I am human and that my anxiety shows up to make me aware that I need to ground myself into the present moment. Giving myself permission to stop, to press pause, breathe deep into my body to activate the feeling of calm, of safety, of balance and ease. I choose not to push through, but to notice and to slow down and to take time for what's coming up for me. I embody all of this because by looking at my triggers, I can truly see and learn and grow and expand my awareness and empower myself to have the confidence to heal on whatever level this may present itself to me, mind, body, or soul. I just want you to place your hand on your heart now as I read out these affirmations. Just repeat them in your mind's eye. I am safe. I am secure. I am grounded. I am in control. I am strong. I am rooted in the present moment. I do not need permission. I trust myself. I am loved. I can do anything I put my mind to. Everything I need comes to me at the right time. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I am and always have been enough. I want you to know that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to when you have the tools to keep you grounded in life. I want you to notice and feel how safe this makes you feel. Breathe in slowly and absorb this feeling into every cell in your beautiful body. And know that you can connect to this feeling whenever you want to by choosing to honor your breath, to honor your energy, and to honor yourself. Just take some slow, big breaths now, bringing awareness back into your body. Bringing awareness into your hands as you gently move your fingers. Bringing awareness into the soles of your feet as you gently wiggle your toes and maybe sway the knees side to side or roll the ankles. And then take a big breath in and reach your arms all the way up above the head, coming into a big breath of stretch. And yawn. And as you breathe out, allow your gorgeous eyes to open. And just take a minute to write down anything that's come up for you. If there was anything mind-blowing that you want to share, feel free to unmute yourself and share. But I'll just give everyone a little second to write that down. The first time I ever did anything like that, like a meet your future self meditation, the message that I gave to myself was get sober. And that just changed my life. So yeah. Intuitively, our subconscious knows what we need. We just need to listen. But sometimes we don't, because it feels a bit scary. But the whole purpose of this is to get to know yourself on that deeper level so that you can find control, so that you have got the tools. So the reason I've created the quantum shift course is because I want to share with you everything that I've learned about the chakras so that you don't ever have to sort of come back to me again. You've got the tools and the understanding to move forwards and to share it with other people as well. Sometimes what we hear is frightening. My message was quite scary. Oh, are you okay? Hope you're okay. Was powerful scary, or I couldn't visualize myself? I could only see the Queen and I was in a palace. Wow. Oh, wow. Was there any messages? That's a bit exciting, isn't it? So again, feel into the visions that you're given. It's whatever you see is whatever. Sometimes we have expectations of how things should be, especially in meditation. And it's always just what we need, or the message that we're given is exactly what we're supposed to have. But sometimes we're like, oh, it shouldn't be that, it shouldn't be this. But okay, is everyone all right? Yeah. So I'm just going to share my screen again. So if you enjoyed that, I've put together, this is a bit blurry because it's come from a Canva print. I'm sorry about that. The quantum shift is all about removing your subconscious blocks to create the frequency of abundance and success. So I know this isn't going to be for everyone, because there'll be people that this has really lit up and they'll be like, oh my God, I want to know more. If that was the root, imagine doing that in all the chakras. And that's just touching the surface on the root. You know, when we do it in the course, there'll be so much more, but it is the foundational chakra and it's the most important one, because without that, and I just thought how beautiful to share that with people now, because there's so much shit going on in the world. Everyone is in fear, but by having these little tools, you know, even if you don't do the course, I hope that you've took something from tonight that will help you manage your fear, manage your anxiety, you know, whatever it is. And I'm always here. My inbox is always open for people. So this is like, it is going to be an intimate gathering of women who are ready to awaken and move forwards, you know, in their truest direction and their most truest, connecting to their most truest desires, while being empowered and fully supported in a safe and sacred space. For anyone that's been in any of my containers before, I just love that. I love that experience, and because this isn't for a lot of women, or I can't see a lot of women coming into this, the container will be over the 7 months. We'll really get to know each other. We'll really, we'll really connect. It's where the magic happens, when there's a collective of women. So each month we'll meet via Zoom and we'll work through each of the energy centers. So again, like I've said, each of them represents different emotions, organs, hormones, limiting beliefs, and they develop on a timeline as well. So that's why we start at the bottom and we work up through the chakras. You know, the root chakra developed when we were in our mother's womb, and it's also now believed that we inherit ancestral trauma going back as far as 7 generations. So imagine shifting. As we heal our ancestors, we heal ourselves, or as we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors, whichever way around you want to look at it. So sometimes we're born with shit to deal with. Like, I know I was born feeling not enough, because in the womb, my nan was shaming my mum for being a single parent when she split my mum and my dad up. So I know that that's happened, and I'm very aware that sometimes that is a bit of, and it's to do with my human design as well. One of the centers in my human design is all about not feeling enough. And when I found that out, it was like, ooh, like mind blown. So now I know that that's just part of who I am. And I just need to hold myself a little bit more and not to overwork the shit out of myself, because I don't feel like I'm good enough, because the only person I'm trying to prove it to is myself. So we're going to look at specific limiting beliefs and emotions. So just a little bit like what we did there, but on a much deeper level. So it's going to be a whole hour session working on shifting subconscious blocks, using the freedom sequence. I'm going to give you the tools you need to manage and clear all of these energy blocks as they show up. And we've got like dedicated monthly workshops and continuous group support. So we've got guest experts as well, because they're amazing. But this is what it's all about. So learning to connect more fully to your body and mind from the inside out, understanding how the energetics of everything that you experience massively affects and impacts your mindset and beliefs. And I'm going to be showing you how to change and rewrite years of unhealthy negative conditioning, because we don't know we've got it sometimes. We're going to, again, like this meditation, powerful activations that are going to set you free from decades of limiting beliefs and feelings of not being good enough, helping you feel confident and empowered, become more self-aware in your mind and body. And this is the whole purpose of everything that I feel I do, is to help women become more self-aware, because and I'm still on my journey, but the more self-aware we can become, and the more we can understand our energy on our nervous system, and that will keep our inner bitch at bay. Because when we can regulate ourselves, the minute we become dysregulated and we go into fight or flight, our inner bitch is like, ugh, what was that? And she steps in, rubbing her hands together just to remind us how shit we are. But when we can manage that and ground ourselves and see her when she steps in and look at what she's got to say, because sometimes what she's saying we can really use to our advantage as a trigger and help us to, expand more, because when we can see that trigger and go, that's okay, it feels safe the next time it pops up, and we become more, what's the word I'm looking for, resilient. Create freedom in your life to live the way that feels aligned to you by understanding your own triggers, implementing new healthy boundaries, fucking hell, we all need them, and awakening your inner creatrix so you start to feel into what you love and magnetize your desires. Understand how to honor your own individual cycle. This is massive, so that you can prevent burnout and practice more self-love. And just a little note on that, I thought my winter cycle was starting like about now, so I've planned this here on this date because I wasn't supposed to be on my period until next week, and then the little fucker's shown up tonight. So I honor my cycle as best I can, but it just shows up when it wants. But when we know where we're at, we can give ourselves the space to hibernate and go inwards and slow down and have baths and just not have to speak to anyone and eat, because that's what we want to do during that week. And when we can recharge during that week of our cycle, we can fly through the rest of the month. You know, more self-love, baby girl. It's what we all need. An introduction into your unique human design. So mind-blowing stuff. So you can begin to understand yourself and the woman you're born to be. And then connect into yourself on a deeper, more intuitive level than ever before, so that you can find what lights you the fuck up, you know, creating clarity and a newfound freedom to move forwards and take action. It's going to help you increase resilience, prevent burnout, become more self-aware, learn how to meditate for people who are struggling with that, implement boundaries, feel empowered and confident, practice more self-love, have more clarity and focus, and create space to connect and find balance. So for anyone that's a little bit familiar with the chakras, you'll know each one of those is related to the chakras, and have the tools to manage your mindset and shift your mood. And I'm going to talk to you about all the woo shizzle that I love as well. So intuitive card reading, the pendulum, monthly rituals. I'll be sharing everything around that as well. So it's going to be intensive. I'm not messing around with this one. It's for the woman that really wants to go deep, so to speak. So chakra training, freedom sequence session, an activation meditation, and a Q&A. And we're all going to be in the group every month. So any questions, anything that comes up, anything you want to know, you can ask me in there. Some of the sessions are going to be live and some pre-recorded. So the activation meditation is the only one that I'm thinking of doing pre-recorded. Everything else will be live because I want it to be interactive and I want to answer any of your questions. And then at the end of the month, we'll do a big Q&A to make sure everyone's okay with where they are. So again, this isn't for everyone, and I know that, but it's only for those who are ready to do the work and want to make massive changes in their own lives and the lives of their families and clients. So your investment for this experience is 2121. So it's 7 months in a private container with 4 sessions a month. It's £240 over 9 months. And there's obviously a meaning behind the number 2121. Angel number 2121 encourages you to learn how to trust your own inner knowing and heed its messages. Do the work to know yourself better. Honestly, know the good and bad in yourself. Identify your path in life and know that your true values, principles, goals, and needs are, know what they are, sorry. Be honest with yourself, view your life objectively, and use awareness to move forwards by making the right choices for the future. What a gorgeous little meaning. I was having a little fumble around with all the numbers and I was like, no, that's it. And there's more. Do you like my little squirrel costume? I'm running a human design retreat at the end of the 7 months. It's the perfect end to the perfect course for me. I'm so excited. It's in the Lake District in Kendal. This is an extra, so this isn't included in the 2121, but there is only 10 spaces on this. But once you've worked through the whole of the course, if you want to go deeper into human design, this is the space to be. Ali Ford, if you're still on, you need to put these dates in your diary. It's the 28th of April, had it confirmed today, to the 1st of May. And we'll be in this beautiful place, just understanding ourselves, doing loads of meditations, getting in the hot tub. It's going to be spring. It's going to feel absolutely stunning. Squee! This is me getting all excited about everything. And yeah, that's it really. So if anyone is interested in that, please let me know. There's payment plans. And again, I know it's not going to be for everyone, but yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. I've absolutely loved tonight. And even if the course isn't for you, I hope that you've took something that will help you manage your fear. If you've got any questions or any feedback, I thought it would be 2 hours. So I'm really like proud of myself for making it 10 minutes or 9 minutes short of what it should have been. But yeah, I'm here for everything. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So thank you for being here, and thank you for giving me 2 hours of your time. I'd love for you to post in the group if there was sort of one specific thing that you're like, oh my God, yeah, like, has that really helped? It looks a great course, an amazing retreat. Oh, I can't wait. Cannot bloody wait. And I know the right women will step forwards. So I'm just really, really excited, and I've loved tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So take care. Millions and squillions of love. I'm just going to stop recording.